Hello and welcome back to Matt's Mission Marine, your home for my take on boats, waterways, and interesting conversations along the way. Today our setting's a little different. We're here in my garage instead of out on the waterway like we normally are. That's because we're going to be going over, for you new boaters or the experienced boaters, the things you're required to have on your boat before you hit the water. So let's strap on those life vests and let's get going. Alright, so the first thing I want to cover are the things that are required by the United States Coast Guard. You will want to check with your local regulations and also with the Coast Guard in your area just to make sure that what I'm going to go over are the correct items that you need for the state that you're located in. First thing up, fire extinguisher. I know that every vessel out there is going to be required to have one of these. Make sure you have one. Make sure it's the proper type. There's many types of fire extinguishers. Make sure you got the right one. Also, make sure it's charged. You'll be able to see that right here in the window. There's a green area that says full. It's got a little needle on it, and that'll let you know that it's in the proper charged state. Talking about flotation devices, you got to have a throwable flotation device. This one here, you can tell it's Coast Guard approved. It's stamped right here on the back with the approval. Make sure you have that with you as well. Along those lines, you got to have your life vest. You got to have one for every person that's on your boat, including children. So make sure you got your adult one. You got to have a child one if you have children on the boat. What I like to do is carry extras. You never know when you're going to be out there giving someone a ride back from the sandbar, or someone's in need of help and all of a sudden they're on your boat. So to have extra ones comes in handy. I like to carry 2 or 3 extra ones, adult and child, just in case. You can't have too many. Your vessel should have a horn on it. Along with the horn, you should have backup sound devices. So always carry air horn. This one here is good for up to 39-foot vessels. That should cover any boat that I would be on. Not necessarily required that I know of. However, a very good first aid kit comes in handy. This first aid kit here, just kind of go over some of the stuff it has in it. It's got bandages of all types, alcohol, swabs, emergency whistle. So if I don't have my backup horn, I do have an emergency whistle as well. Safety pins, scissors, razor blades, a CPR mask, first aid tape, tweezers, glow sticks, just all kind of things in here. In case you get yourself in a situation where you need some medical help, a first aid kit comes in handy. Make sure that you have some kind of visual distress signal. I'm talking about flares here. You can have flare guns, you can have the flares that you light. You can have night flares, you can have daytime flares. There's a bunch of different kind of flares out there. We're going to post a picture of one right up here for reference of a really nice flare kit, the one that I like to carry on my boat. So just don't forget your flares that you need. Those are required in most situations. Navigation lights on your boat. So make sure you have the proper navigation lights for your vessel. Most of them need to have the lights on the front, on the bow, and then also your stern light on the back. Depending on the size of your vessel, that may be different for you. So just make sure you check and you have the proper lights that are required. Now, if you're out and about, all of a sudden you lose your lights, always good to have a really bright flashlight available to you. I have a mag light I like to carry on the boat anytime that I go. Works out really well. Especially if all of a sudden you lose your navigation lights, at least you have a way to signal people from your vessel. Alright, we're going to talk about the items that I try not to leave the dock without. Again, these are not items that are required by state law. They're not required by the Coast Guard. I just feel like in order to go out, have a safe day, especially if I'm going to play offshore, these are things that I need to make sure that I have on my boat ready to go, just in case something were to go wrong. First up, extra rope. I have an extra 100-foot of rope right here. It's not my anchor rope, it's not my dock line, it's just extra rope in case I need it for an emergency. A bucket, always good to have a bucket. This one here is really slim, but it's collapsible. It goes out to about a 3-gallon bucket. Comes in real handy. For some reason I got a bell water. Got my first mate with me, my dog. She needs some water to drink. That comes in real handy to have a bucket with many different uses. It can be a trash can. Lots of different uses for a nice bucket on the vessel. Alright, dry box. In your dry box, there's going to be some things that I like to keep in here. If you're required to have a boater's exam card, I have that in there. I usually keep my wallet in here, so I always have my ID with me. I got my registration card for my vessel. I got my registration card for my trailer. Nice to have a little dry box to keep those things in, to keep those dry. A dry bag, we don't usually leave home without a dry bag. It's a good place to put change of clothes. Anything that you want to keep dry. My wife's got some things that she likes to carry with her. We usually fill up our dry bag pretty quick, but again, it's good to have. You can put lots of different things in it. Folds up nice and flat, doesn't take up a whole lot of room. Always good to have there. I have a kid, have a wife, hand sanitizer. Always going to have that, especially with the pandemic going on. Snacks, we got pretzels. That's just my example for today, and they're really good because my wife seasoned them herself. Snack goes a long ways. Alright, next we have our toolkit. Don't laugh at my toolkit now. I've had this thing since I was a teenager, but it's got every tool in there that I would need to work on my boat. You know, if I need to pull the plugs on the motor, if I need to switch out a prop or replace a prop, anything I would need to work on the boat is in there. There's extra prop nuts, pins to hold the prop on. There's socket set in there. If I need to pull the spark plugs, those are in there. Now, talking about tools, an extra prop comes real handy. I carry that with me. In my toolbox, I also have, for the motor, I have extra fuel filter and water separator for my Yamaha. Keep that in there as well. Dock lines, fenders. You don't want a situation where you're pulling up to a dock, you don't have your fender out, you don't have your dock line so you can tie off, keep your vessel safe. Pretty important if you ask me. One is going to be my chart plotter, my fish finder. Always really good to have. I got a Lowrance here just for our display today. For the vehicle you're in or your boat trailer, an air pressure gauge. This one here is just a little digital one that I picked up. We usually take towels with us. I got a towel here. Sunscreen. Hot day, you won't have sunscreen. You do not want to go out there and get blistered and ruin your trip. Water. You go out, say you go offshore a little ways or in a big lake, you get stranded, you're out there for a few hours, it's 90 degrees outside. Water comes in real handy. Stay hydrated, people. I've also got the boat key. You're not going to go far if you leave home without the key to the boat. And then last, certainly not least, and probably the first thing I should have mentioned in this video is your plug. This is the old one here, just one I grabbed for demonstration purposes. You guys know what your boat plug looks like. If you don't, you should. Don't forget to put your plug in before you launch your boat. That comes real important. If for some reason you launch your boat, you don't have your plug in, don't panic. Just go back there, grab your plug, quickly put it in. By that time your bilge pumps are going to be working, they're going to be pumping the water out, you'll be good to go. Kind of a short video today, but with spring coming, we're in March, boats are being delivered, people are getting ready for the season. Just wanted to quickly recap the things that you're required to have and the things that I think you should have anytime you leave the dock and enjoy your day out on the water. So everyone, have a safe time on your first boat trip this year. It is March. It's getting warm outside. People are going to be heading out. You stay safe on the water. Don't forget to subscribe, like, ring the bell so you don't miss any of our content we have coming forward. We'll be seeing you soon on the water.